It's not a Lexus. That's probably the worst part about it. Action. Where are we going at?
We're going off to see the wizard.
Oh my god. Can you, for one time?
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Answer the question.
We're going to Sunset Cliffs,
Okay.
which is appropriate for the sunset time.
Sometimes procrastination is good because it gives you the golden hour. Because you're late to shoot any other time. It's perfect. Do you remember the video done in the RS? So before you buy it. That's the idea with this, because it's been kind of a love-hate relationship with this car.
Okay.
And anyone who's interested in one of these things, I want for them to be on the lookout for some stuff. You know, since I've owned it now for, crazy to believe, but almost 2,000 miles.
Wow, okay.
Right? I mean, we've been driving it a lot. The town went to get your wheels and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I should probably not swear, that way it's easier for me to edit this stuff.
Look at that.
See how I said this stuff? It's already working.
Say progress.
Progress. It's the little baby steps, you know?
Aww.
Little tiny baby fat feet. You know what I want now? I want fat hands and I want to dance. I want fat hands and I'm going to dance.
You know what? I can feed you so that you have fat hands. And then dancing, it's not dependent on anything.
Scientology, bro. Scientology.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna co-sign that Scientology comment because you know what? While I have my own opinions of organized religion.
Organized religion. Damn, why are you talking about it like it's organized crime? As opposed to disorganized religion?
Hey, okay, religion as an institution.
Yeah.
Believe what you want to believe.
Including Scientology.
Hey.
If you're Tom Cruise.
As long as it doesn't hurt nobody.
Either way, I'm talking about the car. Okay? So I haven't owned it a long time.
Okay.
Let's talk about some of the good things. Let's make like a top 5.
Okay.
Favorite top 5 things about this car.
This car is very quiet.
That is true.
So it's a quite comfortable highway drive, like a long cruise or being in traffic.
Yeah, it's good for that. I agree. What else? I gotta come up with 5 things.
4, it's got good space. So so it's very big on the inside. You don't feel crammed by the dashboard area. Like you have leg room. You could have guests. You could have dogs.
You have guests. This is my bathroom. Okay.
MTV, check out my Audi A4.
Right, so
okay.
We have quiet, bunch of space.
Yes.
What else?
Has good views as well. So
visibility.
Right. High
Visibility is phenomenal. Yeah, it's like a big greenhouse.
Correct.
Especially with the Wagon. I mean, there's literally not a blind spot on this car. It's pretty cool. You're right. I agree. 2 more.
You know what? It's different, and you know it. Shut up. Oh, it's okay. It's different. But no, like in terms of the interior, it's not necessarily like, you know, the highest trim that you could get on an Audi, especially nowadays. But comparatively to, you know, just an average, you walked into Enterprise and they're like, here you go, here's your sedan.
It's classy, right? Like,
right.
I mean, it's not made very well, unfortunately. It's not a Lexus by any means.
Right. But interior and exterior, though, what I mean. So
it's different, right?
It's just different. It's not what you would see everywhere. And I like that. It's cool. I'm into the hatches and whatever you want to call this.
Wagon. Okay. So top 5. Do you have anything that you did not like? As a, you know, because you've only been a passenger, right? Anything that you don't like about it?
Okay, so same thing with the interior. The way that this is worn.
Right, so the plastics are garbage.
Right. That's uncool. I guess I don't really have like a whole lot that I dislike about this car.
So top 5 for me, as a guy who's been driving it and who's been fixing it as well.
Okay.
Oh, that's just a what do you call it? Foreshadowing. That's foreshadowing. So if you're looking at one of these cars, you gotta watch this video till the end. Like, you have to watch it till the end, because that's when we're gonna talk about the bad, from my perspective. Okay, so the good. To me, personally, the number one thing that I really like about it is that it's rare. Like you said, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
It's rare. It's not much. It's not fast. It's not...
It's faster than a Prius.
It is definitely faster than a Prius. It's faster than like your Corolla or something. But it's a wagon. In the US, right, on this side of the pond, it's a wagon. It's all-wheel drive. And it's manual, stick shift. So that makes it kind of rare. And it's not a Subaru, which is, to some people is a plus, like myself. Nothing against Subarus, I just never had good luck with them. Never had good luck with it. Either way, that's a conversation for another time. So number one, I think it's rare. I think it's really cool. Like, obviously it looks like nothing to a regular person, but to like a car person, this is cool as hell. When they come up, they see the stick shift, it's 1.8. It can be made kind of quick. So that's number one. Number two is a practicality, right? So my other car, the Mustang, is hopelessly impractical. This is the opposite, right? You can lay the seats down. It fits a whole ton in the bag. It's awesome for the dogs. When we go to the beach, I'm not worried about getting stuck in the sand. It's super practical and actually not terrible on gas. Like right now, I'm doing 24 miles to the gallon, which is not great, but it's okay.
It's not as bad as a Mustang.
It's nearly not as bad as a Mustang. So again, to reiterate, rare the cool factor. It is an Audi, right? So that's kind of neat. The cool factor and practicality, the top two things for me. The third thing that I really like about it, I think it looks good. I think it's a good looking car. It aged well. It doesn't look like it's an 80s, kind of. Alright. You're still not aging. You're still growing up. But it aged well. It's kind of, to me, I know a lot of people won't agree, but to me it's in the same category as like an E36 M3. I'm sorry, E46 M3. You look pretty good. It's, to me, a car in the same category, especially the B6, not the B5 body. That probably needs absolutely nothing. It looks cool. What are the two things I like about it? I think the interior is neat. The design of it is really cool. It's made like, I want to swear, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
It's made badly, let's put it that way.
Uh-huh.
Like all the buttons on the climate control are kind of worn off because people, pushing them, which is what the buttons are designed to do if you think about it, right? Buttons is to be pressed, but they're kind of worn through where, you can see too much light shining through. So build quality is not really cool, but the design
and
is
the
nice.
Features, right?
Design is nice. The features are okay. It doesn't have like heated seats, but
True.
Like the onboard little
That's
computer.
something I don't like. I don't like that it doesn't have heated seats.
Yeah, especially for an all-wheel drive practical car that you can take in the snow.
Mm-hmm.
Makes no sense, right?
Okay, so rarity.
Rarity.
Practicality. You like how it looks.
How it looks interior. The fifth thing that I like about this car. It's kind of a positive negative. Parts haven't been very expensive. Like the parts haven't been very expensive. The negative is that of course it needed parts. But it's not a very high mile car for the year. This is an 02. I should probably say that in the freaking beginning. But it's a 2002 V6 Audi A4. 1.8 turbo quattro manual, 5-speed. Alright. Let's talk about what I don't like about this car.
Nothing!
There's a lot. So let me start by prefacing, if you want one of these, don't be afraid, it's cool. I like this car a lot. I'm not regretting buying it a few months ago. I'm not, like telling stay away, what a huge mistake. But I read a lot read a lot of forums before I bought this thing, and I was prepared for this, so I'm going to try to prepare you for what comes when you get one of these. It seems like the engine and transmission are mostly solid, but everything else, it just isn't. The more you drive it, the more you start figuring stuff out. So I'm gonna walk you through. If you haven't watched my other video, I'm gonna walk you through so far what I've been through. So number one, the biggest concern is I was looking at my coolant and it started mixing oil and coolant. Long story short, I think I fixed it with a new oil cooler. Now that's scary first when you see oil in your water. She nodded like she knew what I was talking about. Usually that means a head gasket or like a cracked block or something.
See, I knew that.
Right. Because I was crying in bed. That's acting, but
So good.
Sir Patrick Stewart.
Yes.
That part, just for reference sake, oh my god, oil cooler, $27. Literally $27. That's really cool. But as I was doing it, I decided to replace everything in the cooling system. And I'm glad I did because there was a bunch of leaks. My radiator was leaking. My J-plug was leaking. I think my thermostat housing in general had a small leak in there. So, you know, and it's not, again, a very expensive job if you do it yourself. But not a lot of people would want to tackle it. It's kind of a pain. These are not the easiest thing to work on. Like replacing the radiator, the whole front end has to come off. So reliability and reliability of little stuff has been definitely an issue. Like right now, for whatever reason, my windshield washer holding fluid tank, that cracked. It doesn't hold any fluid and it has a warning light for that. That's annoying, right? My blower motor for the AC makes some noise sometimes. My windshield wiper motor on the back sometimes gets stuck. My sunroof, I'm afraid to open because it gets stuck.
There's a lot of stucks.
And a lot of electrical motors, if you think about it, now that I say it out loud. So, it's got some electrical gremlins, let's put it that way. Not gremlins, but issues. It seems like these cars need a lot more maintenance than others. Like my axles are clicking now all of a sudden, the front axles. And if you read about it, this is a front-wheel drive biased all-wheel drive system, just like most of the Quattros were back in the day. And they do go through front axles fairly quickly, like every 50, 60,000 miles. That's, you know, that's decent rate over there. What else? What else don't I like about it? Sometimes there's a weird freaking whine that comes from the motor. That's so annoying. I really don't know what it is because it does it like twice a week. But when it does it, it sounds like, what does it sound like to you?
You know, I don't know what it sounds like. It sounds like a tea kettle, maybe a little bit.
But it's like pulsating.
Yeah.
By the way, if you from that description can help me solve this problem, you should open your own mechanic shop because
Please.
you are phenomenal. Because I don't know what it is. My first thoughts, I thought my turbo was blown because there's some oil in the cylinders, which is, again, at this mileage is common. It's got 109.7 right now. Call it 110.
This person's all over the freaking lanes.
Oh, what the hell, buddy? Buddy, what are you doing?
Not paying attention.
So that noise kind of comes and goes a little bit. It does have a bit of top hand noise when you start in the morning, but I think it's just because of the oil I'm using. I put at the recommendation of, oh, you hear the whine? I hope the camera picks it up. You hear it?
Maybe if you be quiet for long enough, you can hear it. I can hear it, yeah. It's like...
It's kind of squeaky, right? I don't know what it is. But I'm gonna try to replace the tensioner and the belts and stuff like that.
See, I told you that I thought that it was related to a belt.
Right, that's what I think. That's what we all think.
With my professional opinion as a mechanic.
Yeah. But yeah, so a little weird stuff. I mean, it never let us stranded.
Right.
Not yet.
I think they're all like very minor things.
Right, I mean, it feels solid in general, right? It feels like a good car. It's just... It's not a Lexus. That's probably the worst part about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a luxury brand, but it's nowhere near the build quality of a Lexus.
That's what bothers you.
It does.